In this video we're going to look at why you should file your personal tax return before you make your July payment on account. If you pay your tax by payments on account, and that means that you make a payment in July and then one in January, then you may want to consider doing your tax return before the 31st of July, as it could affect what you've got to pay at that date. If you've got a tax bill of £1,000 or more, then you're likely to fall into payments on account unless 80% or more of your income is taxed at source, so for example employment income or pension income. I've done a whole other video on payments on account, so if you want more information on how they work, then have a look at our YouTube. It may be that during the last year your profits were lower if you're self-employed, or you've had less money in dividends if you're a shareholder, which would mean your tax bill will be lower this time round. And this is why you should be looking at doing your tax return early. If last year your tax bill was £10,000, you would have paid £5,000 in January towards next year's tax bill, and then you'd be due to pay another £5,000 by the 31st of July. And then any extra tax owed would then be paid in the January following the tax year. However, let's say this time your tax bill is only £3,000 for the year. It means that you've already overpaid HMRC by £2,000 in January, and if you were to make the July payment on account of another £5,000, it means that you've overpaid by £7,000 in total. And nobody likes giving HMRC more money than they have to, even if it's just temporary. It's also worth mentioning that the next payment on account for the January would only be £1,500 too. If your tax bill was to fall below £1,000 for that year, then you fall out of payments on account. So then there'd be a little pot of money sat waiting for you to reclaim from HMRC, and you wouldn't have to make payments on account in the July or the January. If you do your tax return before the 31st of July, then any payments on account will be recalculated. And if you're not one of those that falls into payments on account, at least you've got until 31st of January to save up money and know what you've got to pay. Hopefully you found this video interesting and you now understand why we nag at you to do your tax return early. Thanks for watching.